shit. Yeah. Do you think the lockdowns did anything?
No. It
I
put a
guess
lot of people out of
my
work is what it did.
yeah, my thought on it is, and I wasn't a great participant of the lockdowns from what I said there, but I
Can't
think
believe
if
it.
I don't know, I need to. It's hard because everyone's like supposed to have this like really nuanced opinion on fucking virology, and I'm like, I don't really understand how this shit works, but I hear the few things that I hear, and I'm like, well, maybe this makes sense to me. If we had like done the full lockdown for whatever it was originally supposed to be, 2 or 3 months, maybe it would have had a really good impact. Maybe we would
Two
have cleared
two
it,
weeks.
but there was no.
It wa-
Is that what it was?
Fauci
Yeah,
said
we just
we need to be
vanished.
in quarantine for 2 weeks. We're just gonna be in quarantine for 2 weeks. So just buckle your seatbelt and ride in for 2 weeks, and then you'll be able to go back to your job.
That's
To
wild. That was the
isolate. Yeah.
starting amount. But
Oh
I do think
yeah,
maybe if everyone had participated in that and it had been executed perfectly, maybe that would have had a traumatic impact. It's the human element. Like,
you.
how the fuck are we going to do that and actually have it work? People are going to be seeing each other. People, as far as businesses, things like that, people that don't believe in it whatsoever, they're not going to listen to any of that
You,
shit.
you
So I think, it's hard. They're banking on something that's like impossible to really enforce.
you can't just stop the American economy, especially. We were very hesitant. I mean, people had to fucking work no matter what. You can tell us that you need to be able to fucking make a living. So when people are told, especially in America, where we're like, fucking work hard, get paid, that type of thing, and you get rewards that we're not allowed to do it, and then that's supposed to be like the calling of being a good citizen. It's hard to do that. But at the same time, did you really expect 300 million people or what? How many fucking people are in like each
What's
section of
that
the
chick's name?
U.S.?
Jamie?
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of unrealistic to maybe
331.9 million in
expect that
2021.
yeah.
The
it
U.S.
would be followed
That's
perfectly. Yeah.
you expect that amount of people to abide in a free country to just totally totalitarian laws. We have never seen that in the history of humankind, to see the whole world just say thumbs up, let's just fucking shut it down. We
Yeah, no, you
thrive
haven't.
off
Yeah.
and if it was that fucking dangerous, it would have killed us regardless, because guess what? People still went to work. There was
You're telling
no
me people die from a
vaccines.
cold? Like, oh my god.
Well,
I don't agree with any of this.
one thing to their point that at least again from my understanding, am I a virology expert? No, I
Yeah, no,
fucking
none
like
of
to
us are.
play on glacial ice, and I'm out, running outdoor tours. But from what I've seen, like the idea was okay. For the whole what would be the health, I don't want to say industry. They had a word for it, like the capacity that we could take in from all of our different hospitals, things like that. They didn't want to see like this like huge wave, like they're trying to like delay it out, right? Is that what they were hoping? I don't know if you guys remember the narrative, and I know that
Uh,
also,
Yeah, they were overloading the hospitals because
I
there's
know
too
the
many people
narrative.
going in there. They don't have like beds enough.
Oh, that was
yeah,
a
and
bad
that makes sense to
narrative.
me. Where we're trying to space out the amount because I think at a certain point they're like, well, most likely
Spend
everyone's
your
going to get this.
fucking
We just
millions
don't
of
want to.
dollars to hire someone to take care of the sick people. You
Oh
spent
yeah.
millions of dollars and you're still out of beds.
Well, I mean, the construction, the things like that is going to take. I mean, even if you're
You can
putting
just
them
fill
all
the
out in the
rooms, man. There
fucking
doesn't have to be one
cafeteria,
bed in a room. If they're already
you
infected,
know,
put them
I
beside
think
each other.
I think we're seeing like, okay, like the amount of people that we might be seeing coming in here with these serious health issues, like, fuck,
Like,
like we
I
can't
looked up the
possibly take this.
average age
This
for
wave
the
would
death
knock
from
us
that
out.
in
Yeah.
Alberta, where I am. I looked up the average death,
Yeah.
and it was like 83 years old. And I looked up the average life expectancy rate was 72. So these people were dying after they're already supposed to be dead, and we're calling it because of that. Maybe it's just because they're fucking old as shit.
Listen,
If I get really old and a fever takes me out, then I guess that's just the way of the world. That's how that shit was meant to be.
I
mean,
just
but
think,
at the
yeah, Jared, go first. Go first.
at the,
Go
at the
first.
same time, there was plenty of. I was working in the plasma industry at the time, So convalescent plasma was infected people who had COVID,
Yeah.
who had the antibodies. We were collecting that to give to the hospitals, so on and so forth. I mean, there was kids 5 years old, 2 years old that were dying too, Moon. Like
Oh yeah.
it wasn't just 80-something-year-olds that were dying when they were
Well, no, but I'm just
already
saying
supposed to
people
be
die
dead.
every day though. There's children dying every day, and we're just only paying attention to a select few, and only in like a select few parts of the world too. Like
But
Well,
it impacted
I mean,
us. But
it was
what
a
about like
lot
third
of
world
a lot
countries?
of
How did they get
people.
impacted by this? What was their like fundamentals that were put in place to try and help them? Did they even get any?
are you talking about like the kids
Well,
that
like
didn't have COVID,
this was a
or
global thing. No, I'm just saying like what happened. We're only focusing on like what happened in North America. Is what I'm trying to say.
no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I'm
I could
saying
tell you about China.
around the world, because even in Spain, Egypt, they were collecting convalescent plasma. We were sending plasma to China. I mean, the whole pandemic wasn't just North America, like,
No, no,
and
that's what I'm
That's why they
saying.
call it
Yeah.
pandemic. It's global.
I mean that's well, really, no, that's why they call it global pandemic, not a North American pandemic. Yeah,
But there's nothing else besides America, guys.